Did you know that diet can be one of the keys to aging with health, energy, and quality of life? In today's video, we'll show you 5 fruits that every senior should eat every day. They aid digestion, strengthen the immune system, control blood sugar, and even fight premature aging. If you are over 60 or care for someone at this stage of life, this content is for you. Stay tuned to find out how to include these fruits in your routine in a practical and tasty way. If you are new to the channel, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Nutrition in old age is one of the most important pillars for maintaining the physical, mental, and emotional health of the elderly. As the years pass, the human body undergoes a series of natural changes that directly impact how nutrients are absorbed, stored, and used by the body. With aging, there is a reduction in basal metabolism, meaning that the body begins to expend less energy to maintain its vital functions, which means that caloric intake must be reduced. However, while energy needs decrease, nutritional requirements remain high, or even increase, requiring more careful, balanced, and functional meal planning. In old age, significant physiological changes occur. Taste changes, smell becomes less acute, and chewing may be impaired by dental problems or the use of dentures. Digestion also slows down, and the gastrointestinal system is sometimes less efficient at absorbing certain nutrients such as vitamin B12, calcium, and iron. In addition, it is common for older adults to feel less thirsty, which makes them more prone to dehydration. These factors combined make nutrition a determining factor not only in preventing disease, but also in promoting quality of life, independence, and overall well-being. Proper nutrition in older adults has a direct impact on the prevention and control of chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, osteoporosis, and cardiovascular disease. Many older adults live with multiple comorbidities and take medications on a regular basis, which increases the importance of a balanced diet to avoid drug-food interactions and help maintain health. For example, diets high in sodium can aggravate hypertension, while calcium and vitamin D deficiency can accelerate bone loss. The consumption of ultra-processed foods high in saturated fat and sugar can contribute to the development of metabolic syndromes. On the other hand, a diet rich in natural foods, especially fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy sources of protein, helps keep the immune system strong, improves intestinal function, reduces the risk of chronic inflammation, and promotes greater longevity with autonomy. Among these foods, fruits stand out as an indispensable source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants, which are essential for a healthy diet at any age, but especially in older adults, when the body needs extra support to cope with the effects of aging. Diet also has a significant influence on the mental and emotional health of older adults. A nutrient-poor diet can be associated with depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. On the other hand, adequate nutrition promotes the production of important neurotransmitters, such as serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood and feelings of well-being. There is also scientific evidence that certain nutrients, such as omega-3, folic acid, magnesium, and antioxidants found in fruits such as red fruits, may play a protective role against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. In addition to biological aspects, food has symbolic, emotional, and social value for older adults. Sitting down to a well-prepared meal with tasty and healthy foods can be a moment of pleasure, connection, and belonging. For many older adults, especially those who live alone or in institutions, eating can be one of the only moments of socialization and joy. Therefore, care in the presentation of dishes, variety of colors, familiar flavors, and cultural traditions should be considered when preparing a nutritious and welcoming menu. Another important point is food autonomy. Whenever possible, older adults should be encouraged to participate in the choice and preparation of food, respecting their preferences, habits, and limitations. Food should not be an imposition or a source of anxiety, but an instrument of care and respect for individuality. Nutritionists, caregivers, and family members play a fundamental role in this process, offering support, guidance, and adaptation of foods as needed, whether in texture, preparation, or meal frequency. In short, nutrition in older adults is not just a matter of meeting physiological needs, but a true act of promoting overall health. Eating well is a right for older adults and a powerful tool for prevention, healing, and dignity. Therefore, talking about the ideal fruits for the daily diet of older adults is just the beginning of a broader conversation about the role of nutrition in aging with health, pleasure, and independence. Taking care of one's diet is, therefore, taking care of one's life in all its stages, but especially in this delicate and valuable stage that is old age. Digestion is one of the systems most affected by the natural aging process. With advancing age, the gastrointestinal tract undergoes significant changes. Intestinal motility decreases, digestive enzyme production is reduced, and abdominal muscles tend to weaken. In addition, many older adults end up reducing reducing their water intake and have a less varied diet, which contributes to frequent constipation, bloating, gas, and slow digestion. In this context, consuming fiber-rich fruits becomes a fundamental strategy for promoting good intestinal function, relieving digestive discomfort, and ensuring a better quality of life in older adults. Dietary fiber, naturally present in various fruits, is a plant-based component that is not digested by the human body but plays vital roles in the digestive process. There are two main types of fiber: soluble fiber, which dissolves in water to form a viscous gel that slows digestion, and insoluble fiber, which increases stool volume and speeds up intestinal transit. Both are extremely important for older adults. Soluble fiber helps control blood glucose and cholesterol levels and promotes healthy intestinal flora. Insoluble fiber is essential for preventing and treating constipation, one of the most common problems among older adults. Among the most recommended fruits for this purpose are apples and pears, both known for their high fiber content, especially when eaten with the skin. Apples, in addition to containing soluble fiber such as pectin, which promotes the balance of intestinal microbiota, are easy to chew and digest, making them ideal for the elderly. Pears, on the other hand, are rich in water, have a naturally sweet taste, and offer a perfect combination of fiber and moisture, making them excellent for stimulating intestinal function in a gentle and effective way. Regular consumption of these fruits can significantly contribute to reducing the use of laxatives, which are often overused and end up aggravating the problem in the long term. Another highly beneficial fruit in this context is the plum, especially the dried version, dried black plum, known for its natural laxative effect. Rich in sorbitol, a type of sugar that attracts water to the intestine, plums stimulate peristaltic movements and help eliminate feces more easily. In addition, they contain antioxidants and phenolic compounds that have anti-inflammatory and protective effects on the colon. The daily consumption of a few dried plums, preferably soaked in water overnight, is a traditional but scientifically based recommendation for relieving mild to moderate constipation. Papaya, very popular in Brazil, is another natural digestive ally that should be part of the daily diet of older adults. It contains papain, an enzyme that helps break down proteins during digestion, as well as being an excellent source of soluble and insoluble fiber. Daily consumption, especially at breakfast, helps regulate intestinal transit, reduces abdominal bloating, and offers additional benefits, such as strengthening the immune system due to its high vitamin C and beta-carotene content. Bananas, although not always remembered in this context, play an interesting role. The banana nanica variety is more laxative, while the banana prata has a more constipating effect. Still, both have important fibers, such as inulin, which also favors intestinal flora. In addition, bananas are a source of potassium, a mineral that helps prevent cramps and regulates blood pressure, which is an extra benefit for the elderly. It should be noted that fiber intake is only truly effective when accompanied by adequate hydration. Fiber absorbs water, increasing the volume of fecal matter and stimulating bowel movements. However, without fluid intake, this process can have the opposite effect, hardening the stool and aggravating intestinal discomfort. Therefore, in addition to consuming fiber-rich fruits, older adults should be encouraged to drink water throughout the day, even if they do not feel thirsty, which is common in this age group due to decreased thirst perception. The benefits of fiber consumption, however, are not limited to digestive health. They also play an important role in glycemic control, as they slow down the absorption of sugars, which is extremely beneficial for older adults with type 2 diabetes. In addition, they contribute to satiety, which can help with weight control, another crucial factor in maintaining health and balance during aging. What's more, fiber helps reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, protecting the cardiovascular system, which also becomes more vulnerable with age. Adding fiber-rich fruits to your diet does not require major changes. They can be eaten in their natural form, in salads, unstrained juices, or even mixed with yogurt or whole grains. The important thing is that they are part of your daily routine in a pleasant and continuous way. Variety is a powerful ally. By alternating fruits throughout the week, older adults ensure the intake of different types of fiber and a rich range of vitamins and minerals that contribute to overall well-being. Therefore, when we talk about the importance of fruit for good digestive function in older adults, we are not just talking about intestinal comfort, but something much bigger: caring for autonomy, metabolic balance, disease prevention, and the dignity of healthy aging. Eating fiber-rich fruits is a simple gesture, but one that has a profound impact on the physical and emotional health of older adults. It is a practice that combines nutrition, pleasure, and care, values that should always be present in the diet of those who have already traveled a long journey and deserve to live this phase with health and lightness. Aging is a natural, progressive, and inevitable process, but how we age can be profoundly influenced by our life choices, and diet is one of the most decisive. Among the nutritional elements that have the greatest impact on this process are antioxidants, powerful compounds that fight the damage caused by free radicals in the body. Free radicals are unstable molecules generated naturally by the body, but which increase in situations of stress, pollution, poor diet, smoking, smoking, excessive sun exposure, and even prolonged use of certain medications. Over time, the accumulation of free radicals causes a process known as oxidative stress, which is directly related to premature cell aging and the development of chronic diseases. In this context, regular consumption of fruits rich in antioxidants becomes an essential measure to protect the body from the effects of time. Fruits are abundant and natural sources of antioxidants such as vitamin C and E, polyphenols, flavonoids, and carotenoids, each playing distinct and complementary roles in neutralizing free radicals. For older adults who already live with a naturally higher oxidative load due to their age, eating these fruits can make a huge difference in overall health, cognitive function, skin vitality, cardiovascular health, and even the prevention of degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Among the fruits richest in antioxidants and most prominent in the scientific literature are blueberries. These small dark blue fruits are true nutritional gems. They contain anthocyanins, a type of flavonoid responsible for their intense color and powerful antioxidant effect. Studies show that regular consumption of blueberries can improve memory, learning ability, and cognitive function in older adults, as well as protect against brain cell degeneration. Blueberries also have anti-inflammatory properties, help regulate blood pressure, and contribute to heart health. Incorporating them into your diet, whether in their natural form, frozen, or in juices without added sugar, is an excellent strategy for boosting brain health and combating age-related cognitive decline. Another extraordinary fruit in this regard is the purple grape, especially the dark-skinned varieties. Rich in resveratrol, a widely studied phenolic compound, grapes are powerful allies against cellular aging. Resveratrol acts directly on mitochondria, the structures responsible for energy production in cells, promoting their longevity and functionality. In addition, this compound has a protective effect on the cardiovascular system, helping to reduce LDL cholesterol oxidation and improving blood circulation. For older adults, this means a lower risk of heart attacks, strokes, and peripheral vascular disease. Grapes also contain B vitamins and vitamin K, which are important for energy metabolism and blood clotting respectively. Consumed with the skin and seeds, they are even more effective as a natural antioxidant. Strawberries also deserve a place on this list. This delicate and tasty fruit has an excellent combination of vitamin C, flavonoids, and manganese, making it a great ally against cellular oxidation. Vitamin C, for example, not only strengthens the immune system, but also acts as a cofactor in the production of collagen, a protein essential for skin elasticity, joint integrity, and bone health. In the elderly in particular, collagen preservation is essential for maintaining mobility, preventing joint pain, and keeping the skin structure firmer and more hydrated. Regular consumption of strawberries can therefore have both functional and aesthetic benefits, contributing to healthier and more balanced aging. Another notable fruit is the pomegranate, rich in punicalagins and ellagic acid, substances with high antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Pomegranate has been widely studied for its protective effects on the cardiovascular system, helping to reduce blood pressure, improve artery function, and prevent the formation of atherosclerotic plaques. For older adults who often live with hypertension and arteriosclerosis, regular consumption of pomegranate can be an important protective factor. In addition, recent research has investigated the potential of pomegranate in preventing certain types of cancer and supporting prostate health, further reinforcing its importance in the diet of older adults. Guava, on the other hand, is a tropical fruit rich in vitamin C, often surpassing oranges, and contains lycopene, an antioxidant associated with cancer prevention and skin health protection. Guava is affordable, versatile, and can be eaten fresh, in juices, or even in frozen pulp form, retaining much of its nutrients. It is also rich in fiber, which makes it even more beneficial for the intestinal tract, adding to its antioxidant effects. It is important to note that the antioxidant benefits of fruits are enhanced when they are consumed in a varied and daily manner as part of a healthy diet. It is not enough to include a fruit occasionally. It is necessary to integrate them into your diet, respecting seasonality and opting whenever possible for organic fruits free of pesticides to preserve their natural properties. It is also essential to remember that although antioxidant supplements are available on the market, the human body responds much better when these compounds are obtained directly from food, as they are accompanied by fiber, enzymes, and other nutrients that promote their absorption and action in the body. Thus, by consuming antioxidant fruits daily, older adults are not only preventing disease, they are actively taking care of their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. They are providing their bodies with natural tools to better withstand the passage of time, maintain their lucidity, energy, and ability to enjoy life with quality. Aging is inevitable, but suffering and extreme frailty often are not. By incorporating the best that nature has to offer into your diet, it is possible to live longer and better. Because aging healthily is not a privilege, it is, above all, the result of conscious choices. And among these choices, the simple habit of eating antioxidant-rich fruits is one of the most powerful. Among the most important nutrients for maintaining health in old age, vitamin C occupies an undisputed place of prominence. This micronutrient, also known as ascorbic acid, is essential for a number of vital functions in the body, including strengthening the immune system. And unlike many vitamins that the body is able to produce or store, vitamin C must be consumed daily through food. Fresh fruits that are naturally rich in this compound are therefore essential allies for the health of older adults, offering protection against infections, antioxidant support, aid in iron absorption, stimulation of healing, and improvement of the immune response as a whole. With aging, the immune system undergoes a process known as immunosenescence, a term that refers to the progressive decline in the body's immune response over the years. This means that the elderly become more vulnerable to infections such as colds, flu, pneumonia, and urinary tract infections, as well as responding less effectively to vaccines and recovering more slowly from illness or surgery. This immune fragility makes the constant presence of immune protective nutrients in the diet even more crucial, with vitamin C being one of the most effective and accessible. Oranges, perhaps the fruit most associated with vitamin C in popular culture, are indeed an excellent source of this nutrient. A single medium orange can contain more than 70 milligrams of vitamin C, which provides nearly 100% of the recommended daily requirement for a healthy adult. But the benefits go beyond quantity. When consumed in its natural form, especially in segments with the pulp, oranges also provide soluble fiber, such as pectin, which aids digestion, as well as flavonoids such as hesperidin, which have anti-inflammatory and cardiovascular protective properties. For older adults, including oranges in breakfast or as a snack throughout the day is not only a gesture of flavor and freshness, but a practical and effective way to take care of the immune system. Another fruit rich in vitamin C, and even more potent than oranges in terms of concentration, is the kiwi. Small in size but giant in nutrients, kiwis contain approximately 90 milligrams of vitamin C per fruit, as well as vitamin E, potassium, magnesium, and fiber. Studies show that daily consumption of kiwis can significantly increase the concentration of immune cells, such as T lymphocytes, which are essential in defending against viruses and bacteria. In addition, kiwi improves sleep quality, something that is often compromised in older adults, and promotes intestinal health, which is directly linked to immunity, since most of the body's defense cells are located in the digestive tract. Acerola is another fruit that deserves special attention in this context. Known for its extremely high vitamin C content, containing between 1,000 and 2,000 milligrams per 100 grams of fruit, acerola is a true concentrate of natural immunity. Its tart and distinctive flavor can be softened in natural juices, mixed with other fruits, or consumed in frozen pulp form. Acerola also contains anthocyanins, carotenoids, and phenolic compounds that work in synergy with vitamin C, enhancing its antioxidant effects and strengthening the body against chronic inflammation and degenerative diseases. For seniors with difficulty chewing or reduced appetite, natural acerola juices can be a pleasant and efficient form of nutritional intake. We cannot forget guava, an abundant, accessible, and often underrated fruit. Guava is one of the richest fruits in vitamin C, containing 4 to 5 times more than oranges. In addition, it has lycopene, another important antioxidant in the prevention of premature aging and diseases such as prostate cancer. The presence of fiber and minerals such as potassium and magnesium also contributes to cardiovascular and digestive health in older adults. When eaten with the skin, guava offers a veritable cocktail of health benefits, something that can be easily enjoyed in fruit salads, juices, or even on its own as a nutritious snack. Vitamin C also acts as a cofactor in the production of collagen, a structural protein essential for the integrity of the skin, bones, joints, and blood vessels. As we age, collagen production naturally decreases, which contributes to sagging skin, joint pain, and brittle hair. Adequate vitamin C intake therefore not only strengthens immunity, but also helps preserve the body's structure, contributing to a healthier appearance, greater mobility, and a lower risk of falls and injuries. Another essential point is that vitamin C significantly improves the absorption of non-heme, which is found in plant-based foods such as beans, lentils, and spinach. For older adults who often have anemia or iron deficiency due to poor intestinal absorption, this is an important advantage. By including fruits rich in vitamin C in meals, such as an orange for dessert after lunch, for example, it is possible to maximize the use of iron in the diet, helping to combat fatigue, muscle weakness, and common symptoms of anemia. It is important to note that the preparation and consumption of fruits rich in vitamin C make a difference difference in nutrient retention. Vitamin C is sensitive to heat and light, which means that fruits should preferably be consumed raw, fresh, and immediately after cutting or preparation. Juices should be consumed immediately after being made to avoid vitamin loss. Whenever possible, it is best to prioritize whole foods with peel and pulp to also take advantage of their fiber and bioactive compounds. Thus, including fruits rich in vitamin C in the daily diet of older adults is not just a nutritional recommendation, it is a true measure of comprehensive health care. It is a gesture that reflects affection, attention, and awareness that aging with quality requires food choices that nourish not only the body but also the mind and spirit. At a time when the immune system needs to be stronger than ever, turning to fruits of the earth is a simple, accessible, and deeply effective decision. With every bite of a citrus fruit, seniors move closer to a more resilient, balanced, and dignified life. Controlling blood glucose levels is one of the biggest health challenges faced in old age. As we age, the body undergoes hormonal, metabolic, and cellular changes that directly affect how the body processes glucose, the sugar found in the blood. Insulin resistance, declining pancreatic function, and a sedentary lifestyle often present at this stage of life considerably increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, a chronic and silent disease with serious consequences for the health of older adults. It is in this scenario that diet takes on a central role, not only as a form of prevention, but as an active tool in controlling blood sugar. And when we talk about conscious food choices, the concept of the glycemic index becomes essential. The glycemic index, GI, is a scale that measures how quickly a carbohydrate-containing food raises blood glucose after being consumed. Foods with a high glycemic index cause rapid spikes in blood sugar, which can overload the pancreas and increase insulin resistance. On the other hand, foods with a low glycemic index release glucose more slowly and steadily, promoting satiety, preventing blood sugar spikes, and protecting the body against fluctuations that, in the long term, damage blood vessels, kidney, eyes, and the nervous system, areas that are extremely vulnerable in older adults. Among these foods, some fruits stand out as valuable allies in glycemic balance, allowing older adults to enjoy the pleasure of sweet and natural foods without putting their health at risk. A classic example of a low glycemic fruit is the green apple, a variety that is particularly beneficial for people with diabetes or prediabetes. Its GI ranges from 30 to 40, which means that its intake has a moderate and controlled impact on blood glucose. Rich in soluble fiber, especially pectin, green apples help slow gastric emptying, causing glucose absorption to be more gradual. This also promotes a greater feeling of satiety, which helps maintain body weight, another crucial factor in diabetes control. In addition, apples contain antioxidant compounds such as quercetin, which help protect blood vessels and reduce chronic inflammation, common problems in diabetic patients. Another highly recommended fruit is the strawberry. Despite their sweet taste, strawberries have a surprisingly low glycemic index of around 40. They are mostly composed of water, contain few calories, and offer an excellent amount of vitamin C, manganese, and phenolic compounds with antioxidant properties. More than just not raising glucose, strawberries can help actively regulate it. Studies show that regular consumption of strawberries can improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation levels in the body, a factor directly linked to the progression of type 2 diabetes. Their versatility allows them to be eaten plain, in salads, with plain yogurt, or in light and healthy preparations, always without added sugar. Pears are also extremely beneficial for glycemic control. With a glycemic index below 40, pears combine dietary fiber with bioactive compounds that help improve metabolic health. When eaten with the skin, their digestive action is enhanced, promoting intestinal transit and appetite regulation. The presence of antioxidants such as flavonoids and tannins also contributes to reducing oxidative stress and improving endothelial function, an important aspect in the prevention of cardiovascular complications of diabetes. In addition, pears are a soft fruit that is easy to chew and digest, making them especially suitable for the elderly. Cherries, less common in the Brazilian diet but highly nutritious, also have a low glycemic index with values between 20 and 25. Rich in anthocyanins, the same pigments that give other dark fruits their intense color, cherries help modulate insulin levels and reduce postprandial glycemia, i.e., after meals. In addition, they have anti-inflammatory and analgesic effects that can benefit older adults who live with joint pain or arthritis. When fresh, they are an excellent healthy snack option. Even in frozen or dehydrated form, as long as no sugar is added, they retain much of their nutritional properties. Another noteworthy example is the avocado, which, although technically a fruit, has unique nutritional characteristics. Its glycemic index is almost zero, and its composition is rich in monounsaturated fats, fiber, and antioxidant compounds such as lutein lecithin, and zeaxanthin. Contrary to popular belief, avocados do not raise blood glucose levels and even help control cholesterol, contributing to better cardiovascular health. For older adults with diabetes, avocados can be an ideal addition to meals, included in salads, creams, or even as part of sweet preparations, using cocoa or cinnamon instead of refined sugar. It is essential to understand that, although fruits are generally healthy, not all are the same when it comes to the glycemic index. Fruits such as watermelon, raisins, and ripe bananas, for example, have a higher GI and should be consumed in moderation by those seeking to control their blood sugar. Even more important is how they are consumed. Concentrated juices, even from fruits with a low GI, tend to lose fiber and quickly raise blood sugar. Therefore, for elderly people with diabetes or pre-diabetes, the best way to consume fruit is fresh, with the peel on when possible, and in balanced portions. Nutrition education is a powerful tool in this regard. By teaching older adults to identify low glycemic fruits and understand how their bodies react to food, we promote autonomy, quality of life, and greater control over their own health. Small daily choices, such as choosing a green apple instead of a processed candy, or including avocado in dinner instead of ultra-processed foods, can represent huge gains over time. Therefore, low glycemic fruits are not just food, they are tools for care, balance, and wisdom. They offer older adults the possibility of maintaining a tasty, natural, and above all, safe diet. It is not about restriction, but about conscious substitution. It is about transforming the act of eating into a gesture of self-love, into a practice that respects the body and protects health. Because aging with diabetes doesn't have to be a burden, as long as you have knowledge, support, and the right fruits at your fingertips. Including fruit in the daily diet of older adults is more than just a nutritional recommendation. It is a gesture of care, affection, and commitment to overall health in the most delicate phase of life. With advancing age, the challenges related to nutrition multiply. Many older adults face difficulties such as loss of appetite, changes in taste, chewing and swallowing difficulties, digestive problems, continuous use of medications that interfere with nutrient absorption, and even emotional barriers such as loneliness or depression which discourage eating. Given this scenario, it is essential not only to know which fruits are most beneficial, but also how to offer them, at what times, in what forms, and with what precautions. Because it is not enough to have fruit in the fruit bowl, it is necessary to make it a living and enjoyable part of the daily diet of the elder. The first essential tip is to consider the individual and cultural preferences of the elder. Each person ages uniquely, with their own stories, habits, and emotional ties to food. A fruit that reminds someone of their childhood, family cuisine, or a region where they live may have a symbolic value that goes beyond nutrition. The elderly need to feel respected in their tastes and memories. Offering a guava to someone who used to pick this fruit in their backyard in their youth can be an emotional reminder, a stimulus that goes far beyond vitamins and minerals. Therefore, listening, observing, and adapting are the basis of a healthy and welcoming diet. Another important recommendation is to focus on a variety of colors, flavors, and textures. Diversity not only ensures a broader range of nutrients, but also stimulates the senses, improves appetite, and transforms eating into a pleasurable experience. Alternating between sour, sweet, soft, crunchy, dry, and juicy fruits is a smart strategy for keeping older adults interested in their meals. For example, a fruit salad with papaya, banana, apple, and strawberries can be served with a touch of oats and plain yogurt, offering different layers of flavor and texture. This type of preparation stimulates the palate, promotes satiety, and provides fiber, antioxidants, and probiotics in a single dish. The texture of fruit is crucial, especially for older adults with dental limitations, dentures, or swallowing difficulties. In these cases, it is best to adapt the fruit to forms that are easier to consume. Purees, natural sugar-free jams, juices with pulp, smoothies, creams, and vitamin drinks. For example, an avocado cream blended with banana can be a nutritious and easily digestible dessert. Mashed papaya with a few drops of lemon or orange juice is light, refreshing, and excellent for the intestines. Dried fruits such as prunes or apricots can be consumed in moderation and preferably rehydrated in water to make them easier to chew and increase hydration. Speaking of hydration, this is an issue that is often overlooked in the diets of older adults. Many fruits are rich in water and can help compensate for low fluid intake, which is common at this stage of life. Fruits such as watermelon, cantaloupe, oranges, pineapple, and strawberries not only provide nutrients, but also contribute to maintaining body water volume, which is essential for kidney, brain, and circulation function. Incorporating these fruits into meals as an afternoon snack or breakfast can be a practical way to keep the body hydrated without requiring older adults to drink large amounts of water, which is not always well accepted. Another important point is the organization of the eating routine. Fruit should be present in at least 2 or 3 meals a day, and not just as dessert. Ideally, they should be distributed throughout the day, avoiding prolonged fasting, hunger pangs, and sudden drops in energy. A breakfast with papaya and chia, a snack with apples and nuts, a dessert dessert with mango or grapes. These simple combinations help keep glucose levels more stable, provide continuous energy, and enrich the diet with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. For caregivers, family members, or healthcare professionals who care for older adults, it is essential to make mealtimes welcoming, calm, and respectful. Eating should be a social act, even if it is done in silence. Sitting at the table, serving fruit on a nice plate, cutting it into small pieces, offering it with warm tea or yogurt, these small gestures make a difference. Meals should not be rushed or imposed. They should be offered with empathy, listening, and kindness. Food that nourishes should also be comforting and respectful. Practicality also counts for a lot. Having fruit already washed, cut, and stored in transparent, accessible containers in the refrigerator can make it easier for older adults to access, especially if they live alone or have limited mobility. Frozen fruits are also interesting alternatives. They can be used in juices or smoothies and retain most of their nutrients. Another useful resource is dried fruit mixes, as long as they are consumed in moderation and without added sugar, ideal for quick snacks or to take to doctor's appointments and outings. Finally, it is necessary to debunk the myth that fruit is dangerous for diabetics or people with dietary restrictions. What should be avoided is excessive or concentrated consumption of simple sugars, such as juices without fiber or desserts with sweetened fruits. When well distributed throughout the day and consumed in their natural form, fruits can be perfectly compatible with any diet, including for diabetics. The secret lies in moderation, choosing varieties with a low glycemic index and balancing the plate as a whole. Including fruit in the daily routine of older adults is therefore an act that goes beyond nutrition. It is a way of caring with dignity, stimulating autonomy, and promoting emotional and physical well-being. Each fruit, with its color, texture, and flavor, carries a vital power that connects directly to the health of the body and mind. And when it comes to aging with more lightness, energy, and pleasure, fruits, simple, accessible, and natural, are indispensable companions. Feeding an older adult well is ultimately one of the purest expressions of love.